And you guys, it's day number 113 of my 365-day Jimmy Ice Bath Challenge. I've been going live on video every single day here in 2022, 5 p.m. Eastern. I go live to get into a big old tub full of ice. And it's got lots of wonderful ice here today. Those of you who are new, this is the Morosco Forge. It's a company that makes a ice bath. And it makes its own big chunks of ice. So it's pretty cool. And filtrates the water and everything. So I've been getting into this ice bath every single day. My goal is to make it as close to 32 degrees Fahrenheit as possible. And today we're at 32.1 degrees Fahrenheit. So nice and cool, ready to put my body in there for 5 minutes. So if you've never seen anybody get into an ice bath and learn how to breathe their way through it, you're going to see it here today on camera. And one of the things that I've done as part of this is I've been teaching you about things about ice baths, about mindset regarding the ice bath. So today I want to do a follow-up to yesterday. And yesterday, watch your back on that fly trap. Yes, I just put fresh fly traps up, so it's catching them. All right, so yesterday I told you about how the ice bath worked after doing some hard work in the yard. I did a couple hours of yard work, and I used it to cool down. So it works beautifully for that. And while I was in there, I was theorizing, what would it be like if when I went to do some yard work, I went in before as kind of a cool down prior? Would that prevent me from overheating? So about an hour and a half ago, I got into the Morosco Forge for 1 minute. Now, 1 minute is nothing compared to the 5 minutes that I do for you guys. But I got in for 1 minute. I did dunk my head at the end for about 10 seconds. Came up out of the water. I did not go woo, by the way. I did not. I saved the woo for you guys. But then I went and finished mowing the grass. I had a little section over there, and a little section over there, and then this section over here. It took me about a half an hour to finish the rest of it. So I want to tell you what happened when I did the work after cooling my body for that 1 minute. All right, let's set you down, let you see all the action here in the ice bath. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. As always, give me all the fire emojis, give me hearts, whatever while I'm in there. Let me know that you're encouraging me while I'm in there. I do have 5 minutes on the clock, and we are going to do this right now. There's a lot of ice in here today. A lot of ice. Jeez, golly. There's ice that went places you don't want to know. If you ever wanted to know what a can of beer felt like in a cooler, I can tell you all about it. That's what it feels like with all this ice around me. I feel like a beer can just waiting to be cold and be drunk by some redneck. All right, you guys, so I want to tell you about the experience I had today as a follow-up to yesterday. If you watched yesterday's Jimmy Ice Bath Challenge video, you'll know that I talked about getting in an ice bath after working in the yard and kind of getting overheated a bit. So I did a couple of hours of yard work yesterday, primarily mowing, and right before getting into the ice bath, I kind of stopped, and I was hot, I was red, I was sweaty, and I was ready to get into the ice bath. And I got in there and it felt great. It was a wonderful way to cool down from the work. But while I was in the ice bath, I had a thought. I wonder what it would be like if I did an ice bath before going to do some yard work. I still had about 30 minutes left of mowing to do today. So about an hour and a half ago, I decided to get into the Morosco Forge for 1 minute to cool myself down. And then I went out there and mowed the grass. So my assessment is 1 minute probably wasn't long enough. 1 minute was okay. I mean, obviously I cooled down. I did get some chill effect from that, obviously. But in order to prevent exhaustion from heat and getting overheated, I probably needed to do at least 2 to 4 minutes. That's kind of my assessment. Because I got warm very quick. Of course, you guys know my body's so well adapted to the cold that a minute is nothing for me. That would be like me trying to do an extended fast and only going like 36 hours, 48 hours. I've fasted so long now that I could go 21 days. I've done it anyway. And so 48 hours is nothing. So same with the ice bath. Like I did 1 minute, but as soon as I got out, all the thermogenic effects of Jimmy's body probably kicked in pretty fast. So I didn't really feel a lot of cooling down because once I got out of the ice, my body quickly warmed up. And so I didn't really feel the effects of it. But if I did even a 5-minute ice bath and then went and did yard work, I do think I probably would feel some. I mean, when I'm about to go out there and do the walk with you guys, during that walk, I mean, it doesn't take long for that cold that's happening right now in the ice to wear off, and I get warm very quick. I think once you've done ice baths a while, your body becomes so adept at reheating itself that you don't really have a lasting cooling effect. And look, I'd love for you guys to get to that level where your body doesn't stay cold. It's why I never shiver. I don't shiver anymore getting into 32-degree water. All right, I need to go under the water. Yeah, after doing even that half an hour of yard work, even after doing the 1 minute ice bath, that feels better. I like the idea of doing it afterwards to cool down. Of course, it's not super hot outside. We're only talking like, I think it's low 80s today, so it's not like it's super duper dippity hot, but hot enough. We get in the summer sometimes like in the mid 90s, sometimes close to 100 with humidity, and so that will be the telltale sign. If I do an ice bath before doing that, getting out in that cold, that'll be the telltale sign if this would prevent some overheating. In that case, I probably would do both before and after doing the yard work. So, welcome, guys. If you're here on day number 113 of my Jimmy Ice Bath Challenge, welcome. I have been getting into that 32-degree ice bath every day now for 113 days. And the purpose is multifaceted. I've talked about it many times. Definitely keep watching the videos. I've been talking about this quite a bit all year long. But I want to see how well my body does being in an ice cold bath every day. And of course, you can look up online a lot of the benefits of cold therapy, cold thermogenesis, ice bath benefits. Just Google any of those terms and you will find a lot of things physically, but to me the least interesting effects of the ice bath are the physical ones. The physical ones are like obvious to me. Inflammation lowering, duh. Like your body, if it's got inflammation in it, what inflammation does is it emanates heat. And so if you do something that would reverse that heat, it makes sense that the cool would help reverse the inflammation. So that's not really that shocking. Blood pressure lowering, again, not that shocking. Blood sugar, maybe blood sugar and insulin sensitivity improving. Maybe that's a shocker. Not really. I think the body was meant to be cold much more often than we give it. So this is one of the reasons why it's such a powerful tool, is most people don't use the cold strategically. People are very happy to pop into a sauna and make themselves sweat. Oh, I'm going to sweat out the toxins. And that's important, by the way. There are these things called heat shock proteins, and you've got toxins in your body that need to be expelled. And one of the great ways to do that is to sweat it out. But what people forget is the ice bath also is moving toxins around and allowing your body to heal from the various responses that it does physiologically. But all those physiological things, meh. I mean, it's cool. I'm loving the mental health benefits. I'm loving the mental strengthening. I literally feel like I am working out every single day, not physically in the gym, but I'm working this muscle right here, making my mental fortitude so strong. And like each day, I feel like I'm doing a new PR. I'm reaching a new level. I'm able to advance intellectually, emotionally, mood, all the ways. And literally all it is a few minutes of time to put my body into cold. And for you guys, it doesn't have to be a big ice bath. I know a lot of people look at the ice bath and go, Jimmy, that's ridiculous. I'm not doing that. Okay, cool. Can you get into a shower and turn it on the coolest temperature you can handle with a little bit of breath work? I think anybody can do that. Anybody. Even if you start with warm water, anybody can start in the shower. And you work your way to the level where you can handle cooler and cooler. Is there some magic property to getting to 32 degrees? No. Is there something magical about 5 minutes? No. That's what Jimmy does to challenge Jimmy, because Jimmy's done this a while. But you do what you have to do to challenge you in the place that you're at now. And if that means 30 seconds in warm water after your hot water shower, then 30 seconds in warm water it is. Because that's exactly what Jimmy started with. Warm water for maybe 10 to 15 seconds the very first time. I was like, nope. But I kept going and slowly worked my way down, slowly stayed in longer until it got to the point that I had cold water on the very coldest setting in my shower, and I stayed in for an hour. And most of that time was the water hitting the top of my head, the back of my head, and I was just like, oh, it's just ecstasy when you're able to feel what that cold is doing for you. It's hard to describe until you get to that point where it feels wonderful. Now, yes, still getting into a 32 degree ice bath sucks when you first get in. I'm not gonna lie. You guys see me, my brain freaks out. I have to calm down, but it very quickly does calm down. And so once you're in there and once you breathe through it, you're able to tolerate it. And that's when you start getting the benefits. So get past that initial little hesitation that prevents you from getting in, that makes you want to go, I don't know. Get past that. It's just a little ridge is all you got to do. Get past that, get into the cold, and then reap the benefits. All right, let's see who all's here today. Thanks for being here, you guys. GH is here. Tile Too Much is here. The Faithanista, Sharon, TP, Lenderloo, Troy. Sharon says, hello there, Jimmy. Hello there, Sharon. Dawn Maria's here. Debbie's here. Carrie's here. Wendy, Gillis, Patty is here. Dawn Marie's got my fire emojis and purple hearts. Appreciate that. Sharon got me lots of hearts as well. Ocean breeze. Patty gave me lots of fire emojis. Patty, I missed you at the farmer's market this morning. I was there bright and early and stayed around for about 45 minutes because usually you're there early, but I didn't see you there today, so sorry that I missed you today. Cape Digger is here. Sharon says, watching with my daughter Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl. And is that Grayson? Grayson James? Hi, Grayson James. Tom is here. Wendy got the fire emojis. Sharon says granddaughter Jazzy is here as well. You got your family today. I am honorary family in your household, Sharon. Keto Kadio is here. Josh is here. Carolyn, Gwen, Leanne Fanny. Yeah, but rabbit. Sharon's got the hearts going on. Karen is here. Bulletproof says, go, Jimmy. Gigi's here. Kat, Holly. Don Marie says, when I end my shower with pretty cold water, I feel extra energy. Love it. See, look, that is such a great feedback. So thank you for sharing that. People are like, what is the point of the cold? I just don't understand. That right there is one of the big ones. It's invigorating. It's energizing. It's almost like it's that jolt of caffeine that you get from coffee. If you just got in a cold shower, maybe you don't need the coffee anymore. I know there's coffee purists. They love their coffee. Jimmy has never liked coffee. I'm a hyper taster, and so coffee tastes like licking the bottom of an ashtray. It's just nasty. Anybody that knows me knows I hate coffee, but it's not because I think coffee is bad necessarily, although there probably are bad things about coffee. It's just, and I love the smell of coffee, but that taste, it's bitter. I remember my first speaking tour in Australia. The guy's like, hey, mate, you want some coffee? I was like, I don't do coffee. Oh, mate, it's because you got that nasty American coffee. We had the best coffee in the world. Okay. So I appeased him, and I had a cup. I even put some, like, heavy cream in there. A little bit of stevia drops. It still was nasty. He's like, mate, you don't like coffee. I said, no kidding. I do not like coffee. But I'm glad you got that big energy, Dawn. That's awesome. Carol Ann is here. Leslie's here. Syed is here. Rousey. Oh, grandson James. Okay. Sorry, the little GR apostrophe SON. I'd never seen that before for grandson. You Texans, y'all do things differently than the rest of us. Holly says, what did you say they were building next to you? So yeah, right there. This used to be a nice wooded area. We had all kind of little birds tweeting, and it was beautiful. It was nice ambiance. Plus, my property is literally right there. So now this is going to be right next to me. This is a housing project. So apartment complexes. So yeah, they're popping up everywhere. New housing projects, apartments. And so I'm a little concerned about having to protect my property more. I may have to build a wall right here. Yeah, so, but that's a little while away. They've been working on that for months, and they haven't even flattened the ground yet. Powell is here. Holly says, I love coffee. A lot of people do. A lot of people do love their coffee. Rousey has a great question. Where do you get that much ice? So the company that I use for this ice bath, it's called Morozco Forge. Look them up here on Instagram. Morozco Forge. And their purpose of their company is to make an ice bath convenient. So that machine makes its own ice. So all that ice that you see, it makes it itself. All I had to do was plug it in, fill it up with water, and then it continuously makes new ice. It also has a filtration system that keeps the water clean. So it's very convenient. So Yeah, everybody's like, do you go buy ice, big chunks of ice like that? Nope, it makes it. It's pretty cool. About the worst part of it is sometimes that ice gets stuck on the bottom. And on day 6 of this challenge, I didn't know that because I was still getting used to the Morozco Forge. And I actually cut my toe, my right toe open on that ice. So I'm always like cognizant before I get in on camera, running my hand along the bottom to make sure if there's any ice there. I get like a hammer and I wedge it up and then break it up with the hammer. But it's nice. You pay for that convenience. It's not a cheap product, but it is definitely something, if you have the means, that makes doing an ice bath very convenient. I literally can pop in there 24 hours a day, anytime I want, and it'll be 32 degrees Fahrenheit for me. So I do love that. Wendy says, when I swim in the cold river, I sleep so good, no pain in my body. Yes, physical pain will subside. And yes, your sleep is not only longer and good, it's actually deeper. There are many studies, and I've actually got the Oura Ring to track it. There are many studies that show that deep sleep goes up by as much as 20 to 40%. And that's that nice restorative sleep that your body needs so that you can be as optimally healthy as you can be. So that's one of the reasons Jimmy does it, is to get that nice restorative sleep boost. And I mean, there's a lot of things that can impact sleep. And one of the things is to get out of the road when a truck is coming. That will negatively impact my sleep. That'll negatively impact my sleep if I get run over. I won't be able to sleep very well. Mama Lens is here. I'd love to live where it's warm all year long. Well, it's not warm here all year long. You'd have to go to some place like Los Angeles or the Caribbean for it to be like warm all year long. Amnita is here. Sharon says, you definitely are an honorary family member. Thank you for that. Rousey says, how do you spell the company name? So Morozco, Z-K-O, Morozco, Morozko, and then Forge, Forge. But I usually tag them on my videos. So when this video posts and you go to look at the replay on Instagram, I'll have them linked so you can just click on their name. But they're wonderful people. I know the people that run the company. I was interviewed by the CEO a few weeks ago talking about my ice bath experience, and they know their stuff. And they're excited about my cold therapy book that I will be starting working on within the next week or two. So good stuff, good stuff. I've been following a while and I'm amazed at the amount of ice. Yeah, girl, I keep it because they let you set the temperature at whatever temp you want. So if you want a 45 degree ice bath, you can set it to 45 degrees and it will hold that temperature no matter what the outdoor temperature is. So if the outdoor temperature is 30, it'll hold 45 degrees. If the outdoor temperature where the Morozco Forge people are is Phoenix, Arizona, and it can get up to 115, 120 degrees. That was why they wanted this device. They created this because they live in a climate where it's impossible to go buy bags of ice and have it hold the cold. So they're engineers, and they came up with this idea to put the apparatus of like deep freezers and refrigerator kind of units, and they got it to make ice. And so I've been impressed. You have to be careful when you crank it down, because I do to like 30 degrees is what I do. And when I crank it down to 30 degrees, it goes below freezing. It makes thick pieces of ice. And then I have to remember to crank it back up a little bit so it's not quite solid, because you don't want the whole thing to turn solid. I don't want to try that because I think I would break the unit, but it would be interesting if I turned it down like 20 degrees. It would be one solid block of ice. Well, I can't do an ice bath if I can't get into water, if it's all solid. McAfee is here. Melanie. Wendy says, does the Oura Ring also track your steps? It does. So the Oura Ring tracks, I primarily use it for my sleep, but it does track your steps. It's got body temperature. It's got heart rate. It's got heart rate variability. It's got, while you're sleeping, respirations per minute. It's a lot of data. And I've been with them since it was in beta testing. They sent me one many moons ago. This is the new one, the Oura 3. And I actually bought this one. It's just such a good product. They don't pay me to say that. I just like good companies that make good quality products. KDF is here. Linda's here. Sabrina. Rousey says, cool, you have more ice in your cold plunge on the regular than anyone I follow. Well, I don't like not having the visual of the ice. To me, part of doing this is the psychology of doing it. Because it's one thing to get into an ice like bath and it's just water and it's cold. That's all well and good. But psychologically, there's just something about seeing all that ice. And those of you that came in late that haven't seen it before, this is what she's talking about. I mean, it is chock full of big chunks of ice. And I like to keep it just full of just big chunks of ice. And you guys see, when I get up out of that ice bath, I'm literally having to like throw all the ice off of me because it's just so much on top of me. But that's the way I like it. I like the visual of it. It kind of makes you feel a little more badass to know that you're actually getting an ice water, not just ice cold water, but ice water. And yeah, so that's been my favorite part of the Morozco Forge, is knowing that it makes real ice, big chunks of ice. And I physically can feel the weight of that ice on top of me when I'm in there, which again, it's an interesting feeling to have ice pushing down on you when you're inside of an ice bath, because you're not only getting the temperature of the water, but then you're actually getting a little bit extra intensity of cold. And maybe that's why I like it, because I've gotten so used to the ice baths that extra intensity just kind of steps it up for Jimmy. So it's a little more of a challenge. I do love to continuously challenge myself. The last thing I want to do getting into an ice bath like this is to have it become routine, have it become easy. And it's never easy. If I'm being honest, it's never easy. I'm always feeling some kind of a challenge in there. Sometimes physiological, some days it's mental, but there's always some challenge. And when I get out of it, I'm always like, I'm glad I did it, but man, that was tough in places. And then once I get out and then I'm walking around like I just did, I'm fully warm again, other than the wet swimming trunks. That's the only remnants of the ice bath that I still have now. And it's kind of neat to know it didn't take long for my body to respond to warm back up again. So pretty cool. Alice is here. So guys, thanks for being here. Day 113. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Here, we had day 113 today. I will be back tomorrow, twice tomorrow. A little bit of programming note. Tomorrow morning, usually I do my walk and talk at 11 a.m. Well, 11 a.m. here is going to be pushing upper 70s. So I want to push back my walk and talk to 8 a.m. Eastern time. So those of you that watch the walk and talk, I would love to have you come along. I've got a great topic tomorrow, you guys. All about having compassion. Because we need lots and lots of compassion in the world right now. I think the world has gotten so ugly. The world has gotten vindictive. And we don't need that. And we all have control over that. I've got lots of thoughts I'm going to share about this topic. So come ready to share your thoughts. As you guys know, I'm very encouraging on those walk and talks. So get ready to get that tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern time. And then again, 5 p.m. Eastern time, I will be back here for tomorrow's day 114, and always happy to see you guys here for my ice bath challenge. If you're watching this on the replay on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or even here on Instagram, go follow me on Instagram, Livin' Low Carb Man, LIVINLOWCARBMAN. And you can follow me when I go live for any of the things that I do, and would love to have you join us in the conversation live. All right, guys, let me pop off of here for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back again real soon. Bye, everybody.